What's up, tribe? Excuse me. What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 1, Episode 13. So we are at the cabin, okay? Everybody gets to the cabin. The Holtz and Kimmy and Maurice get there first. And they supposed to play rock, paper, scissors for the master bedroom. Honey, Kimmy and Maurice just took it. They just ran for it and they took over the master bedroom. And Maurice was like, just like them Scotch cheaters. And I was like, oh, here we go. But look, it worked out because Melody done put Maurice. Now see, if you don't want people to have an opinion about your private business, don't allow people in your private business. And what I mean by that is, Melody, you could have let that man sleep in the bedroom with you for the weekend if you didn't want people to have an opinion about or know what was going on with y'all situation. She made him sleep in the kids' room with the bunk beds while he took the master room. While she took the other bedroom. So, of course, everybody knows that they're not sharing a room. And, of course, everybody got a conversation about it. But, whatever. It is what it is. Then, Melody is sick and she blaming it on Kimmy. Now, Kimmy has some type of pneumonia. I'm not a doctor. But she said she had fungal pneumonia, which is not contagious. Melody had walking pneumonia. So Kimmy was like, if you got sick, you didn't get it from me. I didn't get what I had wasn't contagious. I couldn't have given it to you. I ain't nobody's doctor. I ain't go to nobody's medical school. I don't know who's telling the truth. But neither here nor there. Melody showed up wearing a mask, honey. She kept that mask on for 5 minutes, long enough to make her point about Kimmy getting her sick, and then she went on about her business. Martell is in his feelings a little bit about the fact that he has to sleep in a separate bedroom. He was like, I thought we'd be able to at least share a room for the trip, because, again, Martell is all about, well, both of them are about appearances. But for whatever reason, Melody was like, nope, I'm sticking by my guns. I don't want you to think that just because we out here, that something is different. It is what it is. It's the same. And I'm going to share my room by myself, and you going to have that room by yourself, and you got a bunk bed that you can sleep on. Baby. Later on, we see Martell climbing out the top of that bunk bed. I think that was done for the purposes of the camera, because I can't believe that man slept in the top of the bunk bed. But, okay. Maybe he did. Nostalgia, old time's sake, whatever. So then Letitia and Marceau shows up, and Letitia got goodie bags for everybody, huh? She done got, grab bags, the little stuff she got, the little sex toy stuff, some edible panties and some other stuff. And of course the couples are happy about it, and the men are all slapping five and everything. So everything seems to be kind of getting off to a pretty decent start. Everybody's laughing and joking, and Letitia and Melody even have like a little jokey joke moment. Okay. The calm before the storm. So we're getting ready for dinner. The ladies are making they're seasoning the meat and making the salad and the side dishes, and the men are grilling, because that's what men do. They're gonna take care of the meat, they're gonna take care of the grill. Everybody's playing nice. Getting everything ready for dinner. Now, Sadaric decided that it would be a good idea to do a little exercise before we got started. And I guess he was looking at too many old episodes of the Jeffersons. Y'all remember that episode of the Jeffersons where they had the couples therapy and they had those little things that look like giant Q-tips, honey, and they end up knocking each other out with the Q-tips. Well, Sadaric wanted to play that. Martell told him no. He said, I ain't trying to wrestle with you. I don't want to do it. So Sadaric, thinking that he's playing, he hits him with the Q-tip. Not once, not twice, but he hits him 3 times. So finally, after the 3rd time, Martell, pushes him back, like, get up off me. Like, I told you I didn't want to play. And he sort of almost got serious, but I noticed they stayed away from that flat screen TV on the wall. They kept clear of that. But they were kind of wrestling a little bit or whatever, and it sort of got a little serious for a minute. Martell is one of those people that even when he's serious, he keeps this little smirk on his face. So he was smirking and smiling the whole time, but I could tell he was serious. And I could tell that situation could have turned left very easily. But they finally sort of broke him apart and was like, yo, chill out, dude. Like, it's not that serious. Like let's just chill out. Now, the ladies were in the kitchen talking, and they were talking about and they ended up having a conversation about Nigel Shelby, the young guy, the 15-year-old who ended up committing suicide from being bullied. And they had a moment about it, and I'm sure that was, strategically placed to just discuss it. He was from Huntsville and it made national headlines. I can't remember if he was transgender or if he was just, the kids, were bullying him about being gay. But they had a moment about that. So that was sort of a serious moment that they spoke on it, and just about being able to live his truth, and, just how sad of a situation it was. And, Kimmy said, these are the kinds of things that I wanted the comeback group to be able to be instrumental in helping through the community and doing different things in the community with the proceeds of what they were doing with the houses, on top of the houses helping with the community and getting in front of gentrification or whatever. That ain't moved nobody, but, she said it, honey. She shot her shot, but that ain't do nothing about it. Now, back to the guys. Guys did what guys do. Martell and Melody ended up going out to the grill. And Melody was like, yo, what was going on in there? Like, you got real intense with the whole you and Sadar. And Martell was like, I told him I didn't want to wrestle. Like, I don't understand the problem. Like, he hit me. And he kept hitting me, and, at a certain point, I'm going to respond. So then the guys came out. And Sadar was like, are you all right? And he was like, yeah, I'm okay, but I told you I didn't want to wrestle. Like, I told you. And he was like, yeah, but we've done that a million times. Like, why'd I get the reaction that I got this time? And Martell was like, I didn't want to. I told you I didn't want to. And, my thing is this. In that instance, Sadar, you were wrong. You know what I mean? He told you no. And he meant no. And it could have gone left. But what I like is, and this is what men can do this very easily. They talked it out. They shook on it. They moved on. Now, they did harp on the fact that they thought that something was going on with Martell. And even Marcel was like, well, he has been a little, aggressive lately. Like, what is going on with you? And they attempted to talk to Martell and see, if there was more going on than what the obvious was. You know what I mean? And Martell wouldn't talk about it. He was like, no, I'm fine. Everything is cool. I'm just tired of, people, taking my kindness for weakness and, making his little digs or whatever. And, but the guys did sort of have a little moment where they kind of laughed and joked or whatever. And that was cool. And, guys do that a lot easier than women do. They really do get past stuff a lot easier than women do. Now, we get to dinner, and of course, dinner is going to be a production, right? Because all of the couples are there. There's no hidden agenda. So Dark invited them down to try to fix what was going on between the Scotts and Martell and the Holtz. And so they starting to have the conversation, and Martell kind of starts it off. And look, here's what the whole thing boils down between Martell and Marceau. Martell got embarrassed when the show aired, and he saw some of the stuff that was said behind his back, but most of it was said to his face. And in the moment, he didn't quite respond, but watching it back, and then I'm sure him and Melody having situations and having issues, now he's mad at Marceau. Now, first of all, like Marceau said, he was like, I wouldn't have had as big, I felt like it was cool because y'all talked about the infidelity. Now, if we go back to last season, Melody was the first person to bring the infidelity to the group. Remember when they had that first little dinner, in like the first or second episode, and Melody started asking all those questions about cheating and what's considered disrespectful cheating and what's respectful cheating and all of that, and everybody was sitting at the table like, what's she talking about? Remember that? Melody brought this out to begin with. It started with Melody. Now, as far as it trickling down, there were things that were said in reference to Martell and his cheating. And yeah, there were jokes that were made. But at the end of the day, you're mad at Marceau for speaking on something that was already out there. And why you not mad at Maurice? Like, why is it just Marceau that you got an issue with? And he insists that he knows that Marceau has been cheating on Letitia. Like, I'm waiting for the receipts. I'm waiting for the proof, but they are Martell and Melody are very adamant that it is a fact. So Marcel even brought up with the cell phone. He said, I told you to your face. Bruh, that's not a good look. You probably shouldn't have a cell phone knowing that you and your wife are going through what y'all going through. It's not a good look. And, Martell was like, yeah, but then you made a joke about it. Da, 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 da. You sound like a little baby. Like, you sound like a whining baby. So you're mad because people responded or reacted to your infidelity? Is that what I'm understanding? And you feel like if they were your real friends, they wouldn't have made jokes about it. They wouldn't have said nothing about it. Whatever. Anyway. So Marcel said, you know what? I wasn't looking at it from your point of view, and I apologize. If I made things worse between you and Melody, or I made things harder, that's not my intention, and for that, I apologize. So then Martell apologized for reacting and cussing him out the way he did, and maybe going a little too far with expressing his anger. But he was clear to say he wasn't going to, he said this in his confessional, that he wasn't going to apologize for the accusations about the infidelity, because he knows those to be true. Now, Letitia caught that too. And Letitia's thing was, I was a little irritated that Marcel didn't push for a more specific apology. So here's my issue with you, Letitia. Either you believe your husband or you don't. He's told you it. He told you it's not true. He told you not to worry about it. Either you believe him or you don't. So what this says to me is that you don't believe your husband. I feel like you think your husband might be guilty. Now, I don't know. And only you know, Marcel knows. But that's kind of what I'm picking up from this, because you keep going back to this 20 girlfriend thing. And I'm not saying it's something that's easy to swallow. I get that nobody wants to hear that about their husband. But either you believe that your husband did nothing wrong or you don't. Now, as far as Melody and Letitia, they got to having their conversation. I don't know. I really don't know what to say about the two of them. Melody was like, you were questioning my character. You were saying that, I was going through something, and wait a minute, hold on. Let me rewind, because I'm going to tell you what they were saying to each other just didn't stick with me, because I just think it's stupid. So let me hold on. Let me rewind. Let me get my notes, because this whole thing, it's just, the two of them, their argument to me is ridiculous. I mean, I think Martell and Marcel's is ridiculous too, but I at least understand what the root of their argument is. I don't understand the root of Melody and Letitia's argument. I really don't. And I think both of them are being ridiculous, because I understand where Melody's coming from to say, look, while I'm going through something, hanging out with the girls really isn't at the top of my list of things to do. But then it says that, but then I feel like you expect them to reach out to you and check on you. I don't know. I don't know. And then on Letitia's side, she says that Melody is fake, Melody's phony, because Melody doesn't X, Y, and Z. And she said that she's over it and she don't care about whether they friends or not. So that was kind of where their situation ended. I just can't with the two of them. I just don't. The two of them just exasperate me. But then Melody gets into talking about the infidelity didn't start until Marcel started hanging out with these people. Now, Sadark asked a good question. Sadark said, so is it correlation or is it conceptualization? Like, is it just happenstance that his infidelity started around the time he started hanging with a certain group of people? Or is it connected? Like, what are you trying to say? And that's what Kimmy said. Kimmy was like, well, what are you trying to say? Are you insinuating something? Now, here's what I'm not getting. They've known each other since college. So what are you talking about? Because he's known Sadark since college. Sadark and Marcel have known each other since college. I mean, did they start hanging out more on a more regular basis? Like, what is it? And then she went to explain that Maurice would get mad, or he would start it would bother him that, he was fine with me not fixing his plate until we started hanging around couples where the wives fixed the plate for the husbands, talking about Kimmy and Letitia. And so then Marceau looking at me sideways about something that I never did anyway. That's what made your husband go cheat? He wanted to find a woman that would fix his plate? And again, I say, if that's what he was looking for and that's what made him go out and cheat, then bye. Because that's ridiculous. And for you to put it on, now you're starting to sound like Martell, Melody, that you're going to blame everybody else for what Martell did except for Martell. Now, you're doing a good job of blaming Martell, but now I feel like you want to spread that wealth into other people that don't have anything to do with it. Your husband cheated because your husband wanted to cheat. And it didn't matter who his friends were. It didn't matter who he met and where he met them. None of the other stuff matters. He cheated because he wanted to cheat. Period. And he continued to cheat with this woman because he wanted to cheat with this woman. This woman, they've been together for 3 years, Melody. This wasn't no one night stand. This wasn't no, we ran into each other and we just sort of had a good time and we fell into bed. No. 3 years. By his own admission, he's flown her out places. He's paid her bills. He's bought her vehicles. Like, by his own admission, he did all these things. So, I don't know. You looking for other people to blame or bring into this, Melody, it's wrong. It's wrong. He made those decisions all on his own. And if he's that impressionable that just hanging around a group of men is going to make him cheat on you, then you shouldn't want him. I'm sorry. That's just my 2 cents. Moving on. Letitia ends up talking to Marceau about her having an issue with the fact that, the whole girlfriend thing. And, Marceau he's irritated with the whole thing. And he's kind of just done with it. And he's like, look, I'm not really understanding. Like, I've told you, I'm not tripping over it. I'm not pressed over it because I know it's not true. Like, I don't care. I'm not putting no effort into it because it is not true. And I've told you that, and I don't know what else you want from me. And Letitia, I feel the same way. Either you believe him or you don't. But you're constantly wanting him to deny something that he's already denied. Now, whether he's lying or not, that's another conversation. But he's already denied it. I don't know how many different ways you want him to say, I didn't do it. Because at the end of the day, either he did it or he didn't. And either you're going to find proof or you're not. Either you're going to believe your husband or you're not. So, I hate to say it, but I'm kind of with Marceau on this one. Like, why are we going to keep... I'm not going to keep arguing about something that I know I didn't do. You know what I mean? Anyway, now if he was denying, then you'd be like, oh, I think you denying it too much. But they say, me think he protests too much. You know what I'm saying? So you can't win, Marceau. In this one, I got you, bruh. Sometimes I don't be having you, but on this one, I got you, bruh. Last but not least, the other Scotts, Maurice and Kimmy. So Maurice decides to let Kimmy in on his whole, Operation Monster plan, which is to move the ex-wife and the husband, which again, that one kind of threw me off. Adding the husband to it threw me off. But anyway, bringing the wife and the husband down to Huntsville. Now, it sounds like they've agreed to move to Huntsville. I thought they were just agreeing to come down to visit to see if they liked Huntsville. But it sounds a little bit more permanent to me. And what we find out is that Maurice has a house that he's paid off. I guess I'm assuming the house he lived in before him and Kimmy got together or something. And he just paid it off. So basically the agreement was to entice them to move down was that they were going to stay at the house and wouldn't have to pay a mortgage. Kimmy's not feeling it. And I'm with Kimmy. For 2 things. One, this is a conversation we have on the front end, not the back end. 2, I could see if you said, I'm going to let y'all live there for the first year for free. Because I know it's a big thing. It's a big move. It's an adjustment. You're doing this for me. That'll be my part in this. That for the first year, you got 12 months. You don't have to worry about the mortgage. At the end of 12 months, then the mortgage is going to be X, Y, and Z, or you have the option to move somewhere else. That I could understand, but just an open-ended, you don't have to pay, we got a problem with. And the third thing that Kimmy said is this woman doesn't respect me. And Maurice was like, well, I think both. Kimmy was like, no. I've never done or said anything to disrespect that woman. Yet she finds a way to disrespect me. And I'm not okay with that. And I'm not going to own that. You're not going to put that on me. You're not going to make this out to be a we problem when it's a her problem. And I have a problem with that. I have a problem with you making decisions that will affect us with someone who disrespects me. And she even went so far as to say that she think there might still be some feelings there. And, she said her piece and then she sort of dismissed Maurice. And Maurice was like, so you dismissing me now? She was like, and, when he walked off, she was really having a moment, and this how she was really having a moment, because she broke the fifth wall, right? She was having her little moment, a little tear ran down her face, and then she looked at the camera, and she was like, are we done? Like, did you get what you needed? Because she was really feeling that. So, I'm with you on this one, Kimmy, and I know, Maurice, you didn't mean no harm by baby, but you handled this all wrong. And he said, I'm stuck in between my child and my husband. I mean, not your husband, and my wife. And I get that, Maurice, I do. But talking to Kimmy on the front end, I think would have eliminated some of what you about to deal with. Because this about to be real ugly, bruh. Real ugly. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.